Gary Simon here of designcourse.com, and today we have a 100% free tutorial in which I'm going to show you how to design a unique illustration, something that's witty, something that you could use on a poster, an internet meme, or even a t-shirt design. And so before I go any further, please click on the link that you see right there in this YouTube annotation and check out some more of the other tutorials that I have that are a little bit more in depth that are hosted on my site. So yes, please check those out. And so the idea behind this is to come up with something that's just kind of creative and unique and witty, essentially. And so one such way of going about that is just try to think of popular quotes or phrases. And you can even do a search on Google for, popular phrases or popular quotes just to get an idea. And one that I came up with, didn't really come up with, but remembered rather, is love is blind. Very simple, 3 words. And of course, the idea behind that is that, some people make stupid decisions based on their partners or their relationships, right? So love is blind. I think most people are familiar with that term. And so the idea is to take that quote and try to illustrate it and try to convey the meaning of it without really just putting the type there, or love is blind, and without saying it. So how could you do that? So one such way is, okay, how can you represent the idea of love? Well, the first thing that probably comes to mind is a heart. And that is the route that I'm going to take. Now, blind. How do you illustrate the concept of something being blind? Well, you have the traditional blind person's black sunglasses, Ray Charles. And then you also have like the walking cane or the walking stick that they use, which with the 2 red stripes on it. And so the idea is to combine both of those into some unique character or form. So I was thinking about having a heart character that's wearing, the blind person's the shades, and also with 2 legs and 2 arms, one of which is holding a walking stick, and they're smiling and they look like they're in love, or this character, and they're about to fall into a crack or something like that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll stop rambling. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to go to File New here in Adobe Illustrator, and I will be using a drawing tablet for this, pressure sensitive drawing tablet. So if you have a Wacom Intuos Bamboo Cintiq, in my case I have a Cintiq 22 HD, you're good to go. Otherwise, it might be a little bit difficult to follow along if you're just using the mouse, though this is going to be a rather simple illustration, so you probably could get away without having to use a tablet. So number of artboards, just 1, of course, 1,000 points, height 750. We're going to use, we'll stick with RGB, although if you wanted to get this printed, you want to switch that to CMYK, Raster Effects 300, and hit OK. And right now I'm at 118. If you hit Control-1 on your keyboard, you get to 100%. Okay, so first, before we start designing, we have to set up our brushes. So over here in the brushes, and by the way, if I reference any of these panels you don't see, just go to Window and then find the name that you need. All right, so I'm just going to double click on this first one, and we're going to change the size to pressure. And that basically means, how hard you're pressing the stylus against the surface of the tablet. And we're going to choose maybe somewhere around 12. And then the variation, I'm just going to put 12 as well, and then hit OK. All right, so the first thing we need to design here or draw is the basic heart shape itself. Now, I don't want this character to be looking 100%, front or facing us, but rather slightly to an angle, maybe looking left. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll go ahead and draw out this heart shape here. And it may take a couple strokes to get it right. So I'm just going to go out and draw something that's a little bit more of a thicker heart and nothing that's too tall. And I don't like this edge right here. It's not exactly smooth, so I'm just going to undo that real quick and try to get a better variation. And that might be okay. Actually, no. Let me go out, get this thick. That's good. And then for this side, this half of the heart, it's going to be a little bit further away from us because he's going to be standing and pointing, looking this way. All right, so we'll start here in the center. I think I may have screwed that up. One issue is I have this microphone right in front of my face, and it's making it a little bit difficult for me to get in there as I traditionally would to try to focus and get this looking correct. All right, so I think that actually is pretty good. Now, if you switch to the direct selection tool right here, and you have an area that doesn't really match up, you can just select one of the anchor points, use your keyboard arrow key to move it up just slightly. And this is the basic shape that we want for the heart. Okay, so the next step is we want to draw in the hands and the feet. Okay, so let's switch back to the brush tool. And we'll start with the feet here, or the legs. Kind of just coming off right here. And like this, maybe. Like that. You know what? I don't think I want them to be quite that long. It's a little bit shorter. Just like this. Not going to have any knees or anything like that. And we'll have little feet that come down here. Kind of like that. And we don't have to worry about this cutting off. We'll fix that later. And then we have this foot over here, or this leg rather. Oops. Clicked a pen on my button on my stylus accidentally. A little bit too thick there. Now, come on, Gary, get this right. One more time. There we go. All right, and then we'll go ahead and do this foot. Really sorry about that. Someone just arrived home with their loud garage door opener. Please shut up. All right, thank you. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and instead of doing the arms right now, I'm just going to focus on doing the glasses, the sunglass area. All right, so that's the top portion. And we'll come down here and 1 second. The nose area. Like that. Yeah, I don't exactly like that one right there. Let me back this up real quick. Now, ordinarily, sometimes you would just draw this on paper first, like some guys prefer. Oh, that's way messed up looking. 1 second. All right, that's good. Let me draw a little nose real quick. We'll draw a little smile cheek thing right here. A little mouth. Like that. So he's kind of just happy based on what he's found, which is a disaster. Let me draw a little teeth area right here. Oops. All right, that's good. And what else? Let's see. Okay, so now we just have the arms here to deal with. And we'll start this right around here. All right, like that. And then finally, we'll have an arm coming right around here. Like that. A little shoulder right here. Like that. And we'll have the cane probably starting roughly right around here. Connecting, yeah, right around there seems, actually I'm going to make it a little bit higher up. Like that. There's the other end of it. Like that. kind of like that. Okay, so let me get that green marker off there. So kind of looks like it's good. Maybe adjust that in a little bit. And all right, so that's the basic shape of our character here. Let me think if there's anything else that I want to do before we get to the coloring section. Yeah, it's probably worth going ahead, and I'm going to take the pen tool, and just up over here, I'm going to create a crack, kind of like just some type of random shape. I'm just tapping. Anything random like this will do. All right, and we're going to take this. We're going to hold Alt and scale it down. We're going to put it into place just right around here. Okay, and this is going to be a noticeable, basically, crack, and we're going to, you know, fix it up. It's not going to just look like this. All right. Okay, so now that we have the basic design and a form down, we're also going to add in some other little tiny hearts coming up and like kind of emanating from him. But this is pretty good. So what we want to do now is focus on coloring it in, because now, right now we have issues where things are kind of intersecting each other, like right here and here. So to make everything basically colored in initially, instead of trying to sit there and color everything in separately with the stylus, we're going to do something that's going to make it real quick, essentially, just to get a single solid red color in everything. Before we do that, though, you want to make sure anything that you want to appear colored in is in a closed shape. There are two issues I think I see right off the bat with mine. If we zoom up here, we could see this right here does not connect up. So what we want to do real quickly, just click on one of my existing paths here, take the brush tool, get out my stylus here, and just connect it. Oops. Connect it just like that. That's fine. And up here as well, the fingers, I'm just lightly pressing, and there we go. Okay, so the way we do this is we create a new layer. So just click on this little icon down here, create new layer, and we'll take out the rectangle tool. We'll draw out just enough to encase everything. Doesn't need a stroke, so we'll switch over here to stroke. Then we'll switch to the foreground color and just choose like a mid-red color right around here. And now what we'll do is put it to the bottom, so we have layer 1 on top with our outlines. We're going to take all of layer 1, and then we're going to, with everything selected, we're going to go to Object, Path, and Outline Stroke. So no longer are these editable strokes, they're converted to actual paths. Wait, let me back up before I do that though. So I want to make this thicker though. So before I do that, we're going to increase that to 3. All right, so now we could take it. Make sure you don't select the red. Or actually, if you select the red object, it doesn't really matter. We'll go to Path and Outline Stroke. Okay, so now we're going to take everything, so with the, everything in both layer 1 and 2, and we're going to go to, make sure you go to Window and then Pathfinder. Make sure that's open, and that will open this up. And click on Merge. So when you do that, switch to the Direct Selection tool. Just select the outermost anchor point and hit Delete twice. So now it's filled everything in with color, which is pretty handy. Okay, so first thing, we have our outlines, like the black outlines right here, and we have the red as well, all in the same layer. So I kind of want to separate them. So I'm going to take out the magic wand, double click on it, and that will bring up our magic wand settings. So we want to make sure fill color specified 32 is fine for the tolerance. Go ahead and exit that and just click on a red somewhere. And we want to make sure that we take this, and first I'm just going to group it, Control G, just so we can have all those in its own layer. Now I'm going to create a new layer here, and I'm going to take that group and put it into it. All right, so I'm going to take that beneath there, and that way we have this layer with all the outlines and the paths, and then beneath it we have our color layers. And so this is just the first layer. We're going to have several. So the black glasses, if we take this with the Direct Selection tool, let me see here. Oh yeah, real quick, 1 second. What we want to do is go back into that layer right here. take the group, and we're going to right click, ungroup. All right, with the direct selection tool. And we want to use the shape builder tool, and that is right here. And if we click on it and then we hover over, see how this left part of the sunglasses, it's kind of outside this portion. Well, we want to join these. So you left click and just drag. We could drag this one too. 1 second here. Make sure I have this set up correctly. Make sure to select everything. Supposed to make it black. 1 second. Okay, I found the issue. Basically, we need to make sure we select the right one. So if in layer 1, the outlines, open up the group, and we click on this one right here, then take the shape builder tool and combine them, then it sets it up correctly. Basically, we want this all to be black sunglasses. Sorry about that. It kind of got screwed up a bit, which happens often. Okay, so now let's go ahead and give this some kind of like just white reflections to make it look like it's obvious that it's sunglasses. So to do that, we'll go ahead and choose our brush right here, and we'll make it for the stroke. We'll have it white. We don't need a fill here. All right, and just kind of experiment here, kind of like that. Maybe like, yeah, that's okay. It's not that bad. All right, and we'll do one over here. Kind of want them going the same angle. All right, that's fine. That's good. Let's see what else. Let's go ahead and create a new layer in between those layer 3 and 1. And inside of it, let's go ahead and first I'm going to zoom up a little bit and give the teeth a white appearance. And we can go over the black portion because right now we're in a layer that's underneath it. The black underneath it, let's just switch to a black color real quick for the stroke. We'll make the rest of the mouth black. Actually, I kind of got in the way of that white, so let me undo that real quick. All right, Control 1. All right, it's coming along. Okay, let's go ahead and start adding some in highlights and shadows for this. So let's see here. Yeah, we'll focus on just the heart itself here. I'm gonna add a new layer. And right now, if we take the direct selection tool and select this red color, we'll have the red color right here. Let's go ahead to swatches and just drag that in there, just so we have that in our swatches. And we'll go ahead, make sure we have our new layer, layer 5 there selected. And we'll choose a slightly, showing up on another monitor, a slightly darker color. Maybe right around here, D3000, or 30,000 rather. And choose this, and I'm going to zoom up just a little bit, just alt my mouse scroll wheel. Although if you have a tablet, you can also use that. And we'll go ahead and start drawing, kind of pressing hard. You know what, it almost makes sense to me to create a new brush that's a little bit thicker. So actually what we'll do is go over here, new brush, calligraphic brush, I think that's how you pronounce that. And we'll choose maybe 18 with pressure and hit OK. All right, so now it's going to show up a little bit thicker. I forgot to put my glove on, so it makes these angles a little bit difficult when your hand is kind of sweaty, and it's not really sweaty, but there's still friction on the surface. But that's okay. This isn't a real complex design. All right, so we have like a light source that's kind of coming from this way. We'll go ahead and add that same color again, maybe on the inner portion up here. Oops, we don't want to go outside. kind of like that. Let's see, where else would it make sense to add any type of shadow? I think that's pretty good right there. We'll add a highlight on the left side. So we'll just take a slightly lighter color than what we have in our swatch here. So we'll choose this. We'll double click on it, make it a little bit lighter. So FF5A5A. You don't have to use that exactly, of course. Anything that's a little bit lighter and noticeable will work. And so now we're going to do that same thing over here. Up. Is that lighter? No, it's like the same color as before. Oh, that's because I didn't change it on the stroke. That's no problem. All right, let's come up here, hit OK. There we go. All right, so keep on going. Can't see underneath the glasses. And I'm going to, don't go out there. Yeah, a little bit sloppy right there. Let me see if I can just fix that with a anchor point. Usually if I didn't have this microphone right in front of my face, I would be able to deal with it much better. But you know what? It's so light you can't really tell anyways. If this was like for a serious project, I would kind of fix that down there, but that's not a big deal. Actually, I can still fix it. Let me just zoom up here, take the brush tool again, and kind of just smooth this out. We want to create that right there. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so now what else? Okay, so we'll work on this over here. We have some overlapping issues. So what we'll do is get our red color right here. And I'm going to draw. We're going to need to put that in the uppermost layer right here. So let me, I don't want to select any of those layers, but rather just be in the layer itself. And we'll go ahead and fix that. All right, and we're gonna have to do the same thing over here. And right here. All right, so actually the top portion of the cane is going to be black. So let me just change that real quick. So we're going to fill this all in. And let me go ahead real quick and switch to this color. Kind of make it look like hands are there, or fingers rather. And we'll come down here, let's see, and this is going to be, yeah, the rest of this is going to be red, so let me find, or white rather. If I just take that, change it to white, I'm actually going to delete that one that I made. This here will be white as well. Now this path right there, yeah, what we can do is just, let me see here, leave that be and make it white. Oops, don't want to do that. I'm just going to take a white color. And yeah, I think that'll work. And let me hit Control-1 to see how things are looking. Okay, and usually there's like a red, like the bottom portion is red. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. We'll make the stroke here, get rid of that. Make the stroke this same, oops, no, this red color that we've been using. And we'll come up roughly right around there. I'm going to use black real quick. And the bottom does need to have a white tip, so I think it may, there we go. Just like that, and then of course we'll switch back to that red. All right, so that's in a different layer at top, so let me switch real quick. All right, so let's see what this looks like so far. All right, so far so good. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna work on this portion right here. So let's find out where this is, all this stuff. Now with the direct selection tool, I'm gonna select this and just select one of these anchor points and hit delete. You may have to do that twice, by the way, for that to work properly. And this kind of creates the crack that we're looking for, you know, something that's simple. You could fill it in maybe with different shades, with kind of like sinking in here into the ground, but I'm not going to worry about that really. I think it still works effectively as it is. And so let's see what else. I want to do some hearts, so I'm going to create a new layer on top of everything, and we're going to use white for the stroke. And let's go back to brushes. We'll use this original one we created. And let me just zoom up a little bit. Well, it looks like I have a random area right there. Make sure we go back and make this white. And we'll just draw some heart shapes here, just kind of coming up. So, oops. Yeah, that needs to be black initially. It's too thick. So what I want to do is we'll create a new brush real quick. This time we'll make the width only, we'll say 4 with pressure. 4, hit OK. I don't like that portion right there, so all right, that's fine. And we'll take this, we'll make it white for the fill. And we can start placing this around here. Oops, it didn't show up in the right. Let's put that in 6. There we go. So we'll just go ahead, take this, Control C, Control F, and start moving it around in various places. Let's see, maybe over here. Some of them can be in front, some can be in back. Maybe one right here. Maybe one up here. Move that over just a bit. All right, that's good. And we're just about done. Let me go ahead and put a new layer. We'll put it at the bottom of everything. All right, so we have this new layer 7. We're going to choose a really light gray. Use our brush tool here. Let's see how light that is. Ooh, yeah, that's not right. Try that again. We're going to use a thicker brush, probably this one. Okay. And so it's just going to emanate off kind of like that. Same thing with this inner leg. See what that looks like. Not bad. Looks pretty good. And that is essentially it. So this is our design. As you can see, it took us roughly about 30 minutes. There are some issues, slight issues, like for instance these hands right here. Sorry about that loud banging. Like the fingers probably need outlined in black, but not too big of a deal. But you understand now and have a basic understanding of how to use a tablet in Illustrator to illustrate a simple concept. Plus, just some unique ideas in terms of how to come up with unique concepts, maybe using popular quotes that could be used on shirts, memes, illustrations, books, whatever. And you see, fairly straightforward. You just have to get your layer orders correct over here. And if you're interested in this sort of thing, check out this annotation I'm going to mention right here again, where I have a lot more elaborate tutorials that go into this sort of thing, and as well as other things as well in terms of design, web development, etc. So check this link out here. Make sure you subscribe here on designcourse.com if you enjoyed the tutorial. And yeah, that is it. Talk to you later. All right, goodbye.